my God. Let me set this down somewhere.
No, keep going. So we've been in the building for over 3 months now and mostly focusing on the wood shop. We got the dust collection, the CNC room, a bunch of other stuff going on over there. And we've completely neglected, not completely, but we've neglected the metal shop for the most part.
Over here sucks.
So we've got this a little bit organized, but over here has kind of been like a dumpster. And because of the way we're using the wood shop, we're taking all of our deliveries through this door. So we have to clean up this area. One of the things that we initially spoke about doing was essentially just making a lumber rack for metal. A metal rack, some might say. And initially I thought I wanted to put it on this wall and put it here. But after thinking some more, with the amount of slabs that we're planning on having here, we're gonna need somewhere to store those. And I think it would make more sense to be able to have slabs vertically stored over here, as well as the other side eventually. So here's what I'm thinking. The metal shop only has one wall, and some people like wide open space. Me personally though, I do like having places for things to go. A lot of those things being like, where do we hang our helmets? Where do we hang our jackets, our angle grinders, toolings that we're grabbing all the time. So we have a ton of clamps, a bunch of stuff. So here's what I'm thinking. If we put a lumber rack right here that isn't permanently affixed to the floor, but is fixed enough that it's not gonna move, we could do the metal storage on this side with a bin for cutoffs on the end, and then on this side of it, a wall, essentially, and maybe a shelf on it for storage for a lot of the things that we're grabbing quite often while I'm working in the metal shop. I've done a few kind of small projects over here. What I find is that like I'm running over to that toolbox. We've got another toolbox over there that's buried that we could have sitting on the end of this that would be a little bit better accessibility wise. Because we're not going to screw it to the floor or anything, we can move it around easily with the forklift. So that's kind of my vision. I feel this man does not like it at all.
My only qualm is if we have a 25-foot stick of steel over here, the first process is pick it up and take it over there to cut it. So then it turns into this like drag it around, banging on 400 things.
Thinking about it before coming up with this idea, it's like we don't use anything in a 20 or 24 footer at that length. And if we do, like it's very rare. So for storage sake, we'd probably already clip them down.
So make it more like a 12 foot.
So it would only be like 12 feet long.
12, 15
with a couple bays in it, with an 8-foot wall. And then we could have like a storage unit or a toolbox on one side. Yeah. Essentially just give ourselves like a second wall to mount things on was my thought. That's
What's your construction for the wall?
Other side over here. We just screwed plywood to the metal that's going to be vertically.
So it's basically just a freestanding rack with plywood.
Freestanding rack with plywood on one side.
What about like expanded metal and then we just hook stuff on it?
No. We'll probably go like 8 foot tall with like 4 or 5 rows on the left. So I'm gonna design something up real fast and then we'll get to cut some metal.
Okay, time to fabric couple some stuff. John gave us a plan. We're actually gonna change it a little bit. Instead of doing 5 vertical pieces, we'll do 3, but I've got a cut list. I'm gonna go find Jordan and start chopping up some steel to get this thing put together. Have the black lung. So we've cut all our parts. There's a bunch of short pieces, some medium-sized pieces, and some really long pieces. We didn't cut the other ones yet, but I want to make all the parts first. One cool thing that I feel like John never utilizes this, but using a precision welding table like this, if you use the dog holes, these holes in the table, you can press your piece against them in both directions before you clamp it down. Then the thing's square. We'll double check it because we have these cool new squares from our friends at Fireball Tools. So probably put those too. It's a good little tip if you don't have a square or you have some kind of weird big thing. The table is square. So our friends at Lincoln finally sent us some more gloves, and by finally more, I mean they sent gloves in human sizes, not gigantic ogre sizes. They're brand new. You can only do it once, but
you should never do it.
Whatever, let's weld some shit. Well, as John's former boss, Mike Tomlin, would say, the standard is the standard. John gave us what I thought was a detailed drawing of what he wanted, but one of the critical measurements, the spacing between all the shelves, is missing, and when I asked him, he didn't seem to know until he gets back from wherever the hell he is. Jordan and I are gonna continue cutting up the pieces for in between. And we'll keep going here. Jordan, I can't see, I'm walking backwards, so don't run me into anything.
I just got back from an appointment. What did you idiots get done?
I made 3 L-shaped things.
That's literally it. I was going for 5.5 hours.
That's not even, but you were gone for like 45.
I have another appointment in like
I also ordered lunch.
45 minutes. Ooh, lunch?
Yeah, there's a new wing spot we're gonna try.
Ooh, chubby. And we got a new toy. So as you guys know, we work with Lincoln and they like us to be able to breathe real air. So we've got this, which you probably saw Sam using already. If you're curious, is a fume extractor to keep the fumes away. That rolls. So we've got these parts cut. I think I actually want to put a back angle onto our supports. So we'll set up the chop saw to just put a 1 or 2 degree angle on those, help things lean back. And then we'll get those burned in. We'll do one and then lay the other ones on top. Sam will make a spacer. Let's go. That thing's cool.
It needs googly eyes.
My lungs are grateful.
Also, lunch is here.
Yeah, we'll put it like here, 10 feet. Gotta make a couple more.
But first, food's here.
Let us eat. Great dilemma. We're having lunch. Debate almost as old as time. The question isn't, is this a wing? Because it's not. But do you prefer boneless wings or real wings? Because Sam, Jordan, and my wife all got boneless wings. All 3 of them have something in common.
We're smart.
John welded one and left us again, but I'm getting it all laid out. As you can see here, we went from, there's gonna be 5 cross pieces. We're gonna go with 4. I have it spaced out so that we can hang a piece of plywood horizontally across it, and that way we have a wall to hang some tools and stuff. And I set it at 36 inches, so it'll be countertop height, so we can roll a cabinet or something or build a counter under it and make another work table. So I've got it kind of squared. I've got 2 pieces mocked in. Waiting on Jordan to get the last one in. I'll find the center. This thing should be a rack here very, very soon.
Okay, so I finally finished burning in the rest of the shelf rung, and we're mocking up the big old thing.
Tacking this thing up, and then we're gonna stand it up and see how it looks. The last thing we wanna do is this thing be like all crooked and shit before we weld it all in. That would be a lot of work to fix.
Important. I don't know if they forgot. It seems like he did. Sam's welding no longer on the table. So one, make sure your ground is on the piece you're welding to, like it is over there. But if your welds suck, move your ground closer to where you're welding. Typically, you don't have a good enough bond and your grounding isn't getting to the ends of your piece. When we do the full weld, we'll work from this corner to that corner to this corner to this corner, so you're not pulling yourself out because we can't keep this thing flat. Gotta bring out the big guns, old Ninja Turtle. See how good Sam's tack welds are, huh?
Oh my God. Let me set this down somewhere.
No, you're good. Keep going. Don't let it fall on you or the dog.
Fair, not a great spot for trusting tack welds.
Maybe lean it forward. No, lean it. You're gonna hit your shaft.
Can't wait to get up in the air and weld it now.
It looks good though.
Where is it gonna live exactly?
Kind of leaning this way.
The floor slopes to that grain.
So we're probably gonna have to shim it to plumb and then bolt it to the floor. We built the thing and it's a little wobbly. I want to see how it performs under load. So this is what
Bear doesn't even agree with it. I think it's going better than I expected.
I wasn't expecting anything.
I'd help you, but I'm having too much fun watching you.
What are your brighter moments?
It worked.
Well, you're sitting there doing nothing. You're literally doing nothing.
How do you know what I'm doing? I'm actually buying materials because neither one of you ever gets anything we need when we need it.
I go to Home Depot like 11 times a day.
So, there's a lot of racking in this, and we're more worried about the Tapcon snapping. If it racks way too much, they're not really in that deep and they're pretty thin. So we bought these red heads. They're sleeve anchored, so they have a lot more grabbing power. So drop that in, hammer it in, and then tighten it down, and it'll expand. And it's a lot more, the technical term is oomph. Tried drilling in, but we just figured it's faster to cut it.
I mean, I like that a lot better. I didn't love hacking a hole in it, but I don't have a better answer. Okay, you may be asking yourself, are we having fun? Absolutely not. We've been getting our asses kicked all morning. I just had to make all the things by hand because the plasma cutter decided not to come to work today. It's just been a mess, but we're getting some brackets put on it. Hopefully this will sure this thing up. I feel a lot better about these.
I don't, because I had to crawl on the ground. I do think they're a better solution.
Team morale's low. We've all had a rough morning. Send it.
We'll wedge them as we screw them down. Brackets are welded in. Sam is strapping her down, and then we can hopefully whip together this mini storage bin thingy. Once again, it's supposed to be a quick one, but we screwed it up. All right, so the next thing we want to build is this little like scrap cutoff kind of part bin thingy for shorter parts. Because we made our span so wide because we ran out of materials, we can't go wider. So I'm just gonna weld up a bunch of boxes and then kind of stick them together, and it should work pretty good. It should go quickly, I hope. Just ticky-tacky-toe together. Let it hunker down here, and then leave enough space to get a little bit of organization over there.
Good work.
Ooh, I will say there's one thing I wanted to do. We're gonna try to move, huh? Miss Guzzi. I think we'll figure out as we go what makes the most sense where. We just need somewhere to get our tools back over here.
She was born to be right there.
Just like we planned it, it's like a second wall.
So we wrapped up the storage wall rack thing last night before we went home, and I was thinking about it, and I came in and looked at it today, and I think I have a better solution for what we can do up here. I have these wall control panels that used to be where I kept all the photo gear. They never got put back up, but I think these could be a great solution for in the metal shop. Be kind of cool. So I think we're gonna go sticking these up. But first I just gotta undo all John's hard work because this is better. I was gonna tear everything down, but I kind of like how John had that clamp rack, but I think we could be better with these guys starting on this end. I think I can make it fit and still keep the clamp rack. I might have to move it a little bit, but I gotta find a step ladder. All right, so the wall control is up. This was a lumber rack that I built many moons ago. I'm just gonna cut it down to make it fit so it doesn't stick off the end all stupid, and we'll lose one rung, but who cares? I'll just chop it off. I'll chop out these other parts, and then we'll weld it over a rung and then slap it back up. Got this thing fixed. I ended up just cutting a rung off of it so that it would fit a little nicer. Get this hung up, get everything put where it goes, find all the clips for these things, and get this place looking sweet. John's back. Jordan's here too.
Great solution.
Hope you're not mad.
I think it's the perfect option for the wall control. A lot better than what we would have done.
I agree.
To make us a little bit more efficient. We'll organize the toolboxes and stuff after, but besides that, I think this might be a wrap. I think it's a wrap. Yeah. You should probably subscribe, and if you want to see more metalworking projects, we've got a whole playlist right here.